sell the vaccine most likely mo bungkel sa igid الكلال والهولدر تاع الفاكسين. سنتو كلغا vaccine سيجي داوال كورا preliminary report الجيرة لا vaccine نحو بلورا مريجل. نحو كيرا كالممبر WHO وكان يوريور المرايل الجيرة لا WHO سيجي سلكم كافيد ما كوفاكسين. سيجو كترورا WHO. سيوال كورا aviation WHO واسي by end of 2021, which is December 2021, yung nasabira produce at 20%, enough vaccine and mo cover at 20% tra population ra ay galbulu.
No, I see.
Pala ako caller tira wase WHO wase kita ngarbela wa konsep edel bladong wa 20% kira vaccine kira la 20% tra population gid by December 2021. And we book Marigel CDC side out was a Tomesra November LL 2020.
I see. But the other one going to go out will say, Mokramil Girella vaccine cell ball mrek, Merbostat was at the Momros in Mergid, Almea plan in place, why say?
Why say? الفاكسين معروف انتاجي الاميونيزيشن بروجرام ايغال فيدرالي فاندد بروجرام القرى مسوبيرا اتلانتي لا فارماسيوتيكالز ما vaccine واسي غير ngari ya plan rablu wel wase ale gonga vaccine allocation remiu en magara roll out terni el mora a population within a certain time frame.
Wase mangari akora ideal ngila mes kamiul wase selva mongot mokratiang ako te mama 70 vaccinize emergo emral mo ngal ubeng wasen ngaria certain age group mal ubeng tigel first responders ako termo kam kora ditel gibs modi wase mangora mo ngara tretel serap pra sel mot teletal dobang rusrar other vaccinize still.
Oh, so laboram letel gibs tat seringi rata tara tokshor gidel wase I got vaccine cell of the cell May. Engarni vaccine information sheet loban gel. So di moyor al waset yang vaccine al gila langaran draft mang wangarang at give at-risk population or still maluwin tigil vulnerable population. Cell May sa gila vaccine information sheet awase tuwas ang prioritizer still wangarang at titila la vaccine na mobastrir. Ekadamdengel wa experience gila H1N1 na wase mlarinya tool badengel. Kani cell ne spray cell no rice kaniya orus. And then say gila time na kumple target population na gila amler ngal ka matigil seniors. Yarangal kamle giri require 2 doses a vaccine. So mle gira dalwa ngal del meru sur EWLA and then 2 weeks later alak alwid ang gira del mul me ang usel second dose. Dela ang usel second dose ang walbol inactive wala ka lower cell first dose mo dia al lower cell vaccine bla ngun sang kanal.
I see.
So why gigi del gora mal ko makailom so de la vaccine but 12 der say del lot of retail vaccine مثل لما يوم بنقول سيد VIS مالوفين vaccine information sheet. نكيدا مول تيراك لرني الولتوب لرني. أول غورا في plan الدورو لرني لما واسي. مغرق risk population لرني درابلور بلاو. So مغرق الولتوب لرني. قد identify abasura orior, قد identify abasura igal vertical states, قد identify abasura hospital. Mawal ko ra process flow. Sel belkit ba adal me malara vaccine ka tam karam. Kadang ngarinya gila ngarinya registration table, ngarinya screening table, ngarinya sel bolorus ni, ngarinya sel book handle sel labong eto ko ra mystery sel information wasi sum gamral mo ng mo ngarinya ko ra adverse effect ra malubo ko ra musmer tayo del vaccine wala ka wala sigil number.
Okay.
So wal ko ra gira del ko ra lucia que mari ra el sel abasol bodol tog da vaccine mo ra ra blu.
I see.
And then I got a plan was to tell other those perstir or tell sigang and then I got the meter say the wild time limit the skill to get the lot of retail vaccine and more.
I see. Okay, not clear.
Ira la update se tulig mak by ito sa next topic which is in COVID-19 testing.
Okay.
At ngatya nga comment ka Imlak na Mr. Clarette hanggang Chief Ancillary Services, Clarette Matlab, at the same time ang Chief Logistics EOC. Direct ka ngatya nga amere Carmin itirga didul medical technologist labargid hospital.
Oy.
Itirga gid terung tulig ilalta man ditirga gid ya sabil COVID testing hukto ko diagnostics blur belaw. Ang giman mring asulil man loil kawgotay test rogula tirga rogul 300 madal taringi lahat na may quarantine ma agel tirga huk ora asmera tretan me sois pro hospital manumonial test tirga gid terung ya mga tmok test. So over 1,600 test avlal conduct tirga terung of course sa tangat hindi negative rogoy so far. Tirga gid ako ra sabil mo o ngira bebira questions ra blue direct mo kumakain mo diesel get testing of COVID lo sing maluang la tetelel.
Okay.
Kasi the understanding.
All right.
So Mary, thank you, Carmin as well, and Clarette. So maybe we can start with you, Mary. Just give us a short overview of what COVID testing is, and then either Clarette or Carmin can translate for. What's it? Yes? Translate for our Palawan audience.
Okay.
Thank you. So tonight we want to briefly talk about COVID-19 testing. In simple terms, it involves taking specimen to assess if an individual current COVID-19 infection or has been previously infected and has produced immunity. And there are different kinds of testings available, and I'll ask Carmin to explain the different types of testing available.
Okay. So again, two government testings and the test the COVID niya things. PCR or polymerase chain reaction. Say I detect nucleic acid and gagid virus and nga labeling lahat. Isa lang yerong on serology, like antibodies, like after avan bod set gid ang COVID, yablangin mag-produce antibodies against ang gagid virus. So serology ga lahat say the antibodies are being produced after infection.
So, Carmin and Mary, serological testing is a blood-based, so you're drawing blood. But for the current testing method that we're utilizing for the PCR, all PCR platforms is a swab, right?
Oh yeah, PCR was nasopharyngeal swab or nasal swab.
And then a serological testing, okay. So are we doing both? Ministry of Health, or testing for both the virus and antibodies, or just the virus?
The virus. We're still exploring platforms for antibody testing, but it's already in our plan.
So, sige na tulig lang time, test na COVID, adi sige din uspera igel PCR platforms, dengan yak kaldel uspera lang time, sige din RT-PCR ng ilura Taiwan, gene expert, direct kalabot ID. Ay di PCR kaldel, hindi sige di RT-PCR, awal ko na sa gold standard, rablu other rogil. Produkto taler other rablu bolo tingin, sa sige di uspera ngil diagnose ra other wasing smera blu gandia. Ilang time hindi ako rura antibody testing. Collaborate ko le tulig ra walel la ko ram lo tal dimension ngil wasel igel antibody test biro raw walet ka pandemic adim la sal accurate maulim dim la do mulo spell test ya si time still hindi ka kalbo niya tiga kada tiga gay sila balwada mong kada di malmol malbrura diagnostic testing.
Okay.
So in terms of the results, Mere and Carmin, what does it mean to be to have a positive and a negative result for the COVID test?
Okay, so two mother run a test of spare PCR. It's a total result either was a COVID detected, meaning tigara, take acting with an arm or not detected, the loss into the blood, the arm and the arm and the currently the time in the healthcare.
Book antibody test. So, total other lorings ra IgM, IgG, ling sila temela dengue outbreak, the test ra book dengue fever, toka yagi the acronyms el blado Thomas mal adra blue la matingi yagi makamwa di model sa tungura COVID antibody testing ngara bula IgM, IgG.
Okay, and so test serological testing, COVID, result either at the was anti-IgM detected or anti-IgG detected. There are two anti-IgM detected. It's recently like short time after available it, and then they must start the producer
antibody.
So recently, then if almost recovering from the infection or toward the recovery, and then in most likely anti-IgG detected, meaning so previously infected, and then once the person going to recover and more IgG detected in serological test.
Carmin other test both IgG ma IgM.
All in the process of going to recovery.
And then at sukuma ada going back to the viral testing at sukuma ada wakat tarte lang lang sabi test positive. For example at sukuma adam nos mere lang ay na mo dekal buko yura after 14 days or so. How long after wala kal buko yul still hindi ka sabi detect virus ra sila.
It's possible to have when you have recovered from the or you are undergoing recovery or you have recovered. It's possible to have a PCR positive result. Or it does not mean that you are still infectious, but it simply means that your body is still maintaining some leftover RNA from the recovery boost, and the test was able to detect that leftover RNA in your body.
And so there's a new study that came out, I think this week, talking about immunity. So how does that play into antibody testing and whether or not a person has developed immunity? And if so, once a person has been infected and they're recovered and they've developed the antibody, how long will that protect them against the reinfection of COVID?
Yeah, so there's still a lot to know about immunity progression with COVID-19 disease. But what we know generally that when there's an infection, that generally within 7 days there's a rise in IgM, and then following that 14 days later we expect to see that there's a rise in IgG, and it should stay there for a while. But how long, there's very little that is known how long it'll stay, whether it's just short term or it's a long-term protection, whether it protects us from a second infection is still not known. So we're still exploring literature to see that is the reason why we have not really committed to buying antibody tests now, because we do not want to jump in and buy something that later on they will see that it didn't work in our situation. So that's why we're still exploring the situation and the literature of how the progression of immunity and how we can utilize that information to buy what's appropriate for our situation in Palau.
Carmin, come already walk through the process, the actual testing process. So, for example, labora quarantine site, Dr. Marnus and Moswab, cell sample ng makarang receiver makarang run a test, the turnaround time or test result.
Okay. So after Galestaso quarantine, sel loran May ito ko la informer ma'am. Sel May naging memmal ito naging mga yagi start the process. Sel galek sa tingin galek telo ara ora makalokot sa bulan nga ay sa maintain ako na eman deliver tele PCR mergi. So sel gimay and then ayok mo again protocol kaya malo where our PE is not proper process I got.
So cellulosic processing, what does that mean?
At the beginning, like I got swap quarantine sa tela. So you start a process I give marche or I give and kaya na quarantine may sample at sila mura nga test nga sa sorry. Maral masila gi mo ban PCR motor PCR ang extraction method when you run extraction method after you run extraction method you transfer in more another room at niya gi mo expert PCR and run niya mo whether some detect any or hindi ka detect sa
so cell extraction Carmin magagambere tengaral process sa extraction ng mga raw or PCR.
So cell extraction, for example, ang muna nga other reagent along either in like breakdown or a release of the nucleic acid ang gigit arma sa mga so after sa gigit ang more sila say runner cell hold
PCR machine
extract the
extraction machine and the PCR machine.
The PCR mo detect was ngayon or ano. So after the addition reagent, when we have PCR, I mean the extraction machine say ang process mamilot the running and extracting. Until after the end, they get transferred. Already masila the armadigan mula yan another container and ano yung sige then specimen natin sa ilang container sige mo transfer in more PCR room. So ela sa sa PCR room yagi mula sa natin sa ilang machine. Kanya mo run and siya wasing ani ha detect ani malupang sa detect.
So mo ise tuli ka ulma maybe that time yung mayroong test results sa 12 amal di mo yer was it telal ada agim run at test tip may giblon mulwa sing results at 24 to 48 hours after collection. So kam ko this mo di Carmin na sa PCR machine even kailangan sa run at that time may gel baby la geli abot I think kailangan run na machine expert.
PCR so PCR so L1 at 46 sample
and 10 hours.
That's like 8 to 90 minutes. Chin expert 4 tests at a time is 45 minutes.
So so 46 amo so is para PCR machine RT-PCR kung kajin expert ta 4 samples for at a time abot ID.
Abot ID 1 at a time. 15 minutes. So abot ID amal di one specimen na to tungiringi
5 minutes and 12 the positive result, 15 minutes and 12 the negative result, I say. And then a gene expert, 4 samples at one time, and then tell a minute, 45 minutes. And then it's the RT-PCR machine, 46 samples, so it's for ourselves, in 90 minutes.
Lengthy.
Di ka kakuragin tulig.
Dia kan ting ngania tingwal blame amin tigil note gubang wase please recap when when the show, at the end of the show, can you do a recap and read the names of the guests for tonight talk show? Okay, so I'm going to do that after we finish.
Always say.
Okay.
Hindi mo klat ka nga tulig at malobes sa kada end mo. Pero mo kaya pa damay ng clue di mas ang clip ka robo.
Please, Okay.
Malungi la tulig ang makatakuram na smodi sa igidil kundas ang akuram la ringiya at ako era belul waset tiga igidil na quarantine na salong erus ko gira kuam meya test positive ra antibody ra taraigal private clinic so hindi so makatakil wasing ministerial health at time madakalong utmok sa igidil test ending I get test ro ko plan ngay tiga igidil na ra igal repatriation flight tal may atim na negative so bulugulak mo hindi ka presence ng virus na tarti again maybe later on ya mo omes ra ko tokora testing ng antibody hindi gunda sa flu tutela bulan ng indar adra bulu ako sa kalaman mon el test ra tigen na so is but so far hindi ka kamatang mong ngin gagi del SARS-CoV virus so hindi rin kalsado mo katakil sa COVID-19 at tial rak del Polse niyarat hindi ingel virus luul tial sera segid SARS-CoV-2 tiang kal virus mo madurura test kada detect ngay gid SARS-CoV-2
Okay.
Tuloy ako na since ako kurang testing kurati ta share at kay itali tiral neighbors gid adra kwamel kada melat kartil at malburang ara kita lesel wan to mo sin se wan way mo ram mal beto ka cases estira el ampuko ke seguida to kol tilo da se el alsil 77 na uple positive mlambo 23 ngara hospital 6 ngara ICU tong wal ram mal di namo total ha 984 positive rakwam so they're reaching 1,000 cases kadidire kal nilo o mitel wasi galil sa bedal kurashira bebira teskit lobentrir mang kadamo senda bebila ay gele teskit ra abot IV margin expert el morakwam el mo nga sertire al time may gimot mokle over a little over 1,000 abot senda el mo ngemo maray sel ko gira do stel morakwam ora dolitra da blum kadi melat karara rakwam el tunggu ada dengar saya magbulgar registre nongot buklab dengi.
Moi se ngariam lan mutul imo el angel 70 gil nosmer mlama te mergo el mutul ngaria imo moi se
lari gay del dori for argil gay del dori for argil nanya travel history ngira Hawaii el Morakwam mosmer monyui ngara hospital 3 weeks el ngara ventilator ngani underlying health condition ngi gay del mosmer namo 7 mosmer rakwam 2 alone in the past week rakwam.
Okay. Sulara information sula tolmon.
Ang latim lagi kita kukura sebenarnya ada level share unless any questions tulik.
Ya. Oh. بس هذا المهم ده قالوا عشان مثل قاعد ملكيرا الشيء التلاق لبسي شيرا بيبيرا الاكسبيرينس لو كمان just in case هاي مو positive باقي مو الشيء Okay.
Pero sulang ito lige so tilgan tewang wagel blaktung tilgan lara at imortiram lar selgot el flight lara buamel me tilgan tede ako natel digam lel repatriation flight mong tede tire tuliga humdas tamal to kadra ablul madatrir social media of course ako madingin sa tial after COVID matil pandemic nangaral sila dia kalkora global madakal peyot toy to kala adam la musme alma ma ay gal bilul biliwak kagida affected dia kal global ndi ngora tilkanga tiram na sila quarantine of course adi imagine am ngara wati wam simil talbuy le tulig le tilkam na rakwam lerul Sunday 14 days igiler dras kogir belan mura quarantine another 14 days essentially talbuy ngara al simra sila room of course atang nga situation ag igiler buk mosiga ora ate elle ora express malubit try to cheer them up. I'm not going to say stay positive, but stay negative in a positive way. So, tira amal koram lo superstars sa social media, like vlogs, video vlogs. Makadamari nga sulir nga niya Shandy, ma Singe, ma Cyrus, ma direct kal Shunrang, tira o banggeta rin alpasus. I think we're going to go alphabetical order.
Okay.
Quickly introduce yourself. MOH a student, less stranded, kamlarigel ako lewangan ng experience sa quarantine. And at the same time, tuloy akong sungungilan direct kalora DPS laway so singarang bebirat talang tingil quarantine sa bedali. For the next batch, assuming nga niya next and at Lorraine, mo niya telin mermera in the near future, el direct ko sa mamali improve.
I see.
Matawag, Shandy, okay. Kim mo daw ruwa ang nga TikTok.
Okay.
Okay ko. O nga ang klaka Shandy, David, administrated rakwag. And, I'm not gonna lie, quarantine ako like, it was alright, but then not alright at the same time. Kung lang, di ka lang sa room, kasi may makarang. So like, you have to think outside the box.
Oh.
Of something.
Okay.
Di na kan mamimigay din natin warang o sa TV, o sa CNN, o sa watching all YouTube po, alam mo lang understand. So like, ako rating lang eventually this one night, and then ako minsan ka kasi. Ati wala. Kataglim ang chisi kaya ka kataglim Shandy ang aksesisi so that's how I ended up in Jessica kung di sensitive lang ako mga tuturo nga ikaw sige kita bilang ko nga sila lagyan sila nga and then I started putting on changing go start to video makarap like trying to keep me sane like daksal ko promote ito para sila quarantine and then I thought it was only 1 week in Guam and then find out I was moved to the more week so I'm like okay takalo ko mutal 1 more week rakwa ko kumrepela ko mutal 2 weeks okay I can handle this balutong ko kora open ako kanina nga o mesa drop off ko may blow sound ulit ako kasi sa scroll lang ako lang sa security oy tara room ko okay pati blow cover sige dala ko sa security ako takal pero yeah so I'm doing just fine thank you I really think the Red Cross people matakal abas hospital yeah.
Okay. In terms of food, ngaral na ko rahman o mystery hindi ka mapra kung nigel okay.
Yeah, marathon din masal maalun.
Okay. Kamil ka na get stranded in Guam.
On the quarantine, tell coronavirus, I will remember stranded. So like, probably like, may sira last year and then it started happening. So quarantine was started close up. Airport, mga ramadang sa mga May. So I'm like, oh.
Aradra Guam timlewing ito kami.
Sorry?
Aradra Guam timlewing ito kami. Did they treat you right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm really talking to you like on assumption. I feel like ako removed the Muslim chip. Yeah, I feel so special.
All right. It's good to hear that you guys were able to do it, and now you're home. So welcome home.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Kalbo next. Ang nga ka question ka. Kafa na diyan ka na take over.
Katapo na next sa Malbornia.
Okay.
Question.
Ay malungin ako sa ngayon, ang sila ka Shunrang Chin.
Okay.
Still I'm gonna graduate from the University of Scranton in Pennsylvania.
All right.
And I arrived at Guam around May 28th, and I was on the second flight, so I was stuck in Guam for 2 months. And 2 weeks of quarantine uploading, so I guess I can say I'm a quarantine expert. So it's something from the year of the OJ. I'm currently interning with Gafar at HPRD.
All right.
Quarantine ako mo sin soba sa ako ten May ako na quarantine ako ma-oche gidila ka nga school as Scranton. And sa ginto dagi dila ka kay nga mangi makupa na sa lima mal dila ka graduate from Regis University ng Colorado. Makalkel 1 month ra hotel. Di na kami malhara hotel ka but the government was able to reimburse us.
All right.
Then sa lagi po pang tour sa Steganal 2-week quarantine. I came left for nga family room, so it wasn't too bad.
All right.
I got better ko na talaga pa uncomfortable. Kasi last spring, and then we made it.
Okay.
Akal kasi nakal-cycle issue for us.
I see.
Yeah, so I extend another week. I'm still strong downstairs and order like snacks and drinks, so that was good.
Yeah.
And then sa May, I was fortunate enough na tinakan mo niya roommate na so I'm man-na-edge kayo dahil social media influencers, mga influencer nga viewer.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you grade your government, the way they treat you? Were the CAFAR and the people from Ministry of Health and EOC, did they give you a full support, and were you satisfied with your government did to support you?
Yeah, I was. Kung tamal responsive every time my email sakal cancel yakwam. Ito na-respond in a timely manner. Understand mo tamasang sometimes ito mail they respond but they did.
I see. Mas better mula siya satisfied arwa CAFAR am take care of me, right?
Yeah, ang kaman lang nila, sir. Especially sa regular lang kaman lang nila. Quarantine, marum sa kamam, makal. Everything was on time. Manis mo na process sa airport, del Miracove.
Okay.
And di sa last day, gimira agal may nakarasim lo ay kung namasong may release. Hindi na sa mga akla gimigay sa ready kamam. Koramal lo mayo, koram lang mo bi kasi takalay lang nga positive, malo emergency meeting. Hindi ilaman na rin may mga taraasim man lo nila ng ma'am.
So when you got home, what was the first thing you did?
Oh, well, my family had a barbecue, ginla barbecue, more. Yeah.
Emle nga testing, sel lola swab mura like ngarakwam sel mirbela.
Yang para makmedala sisu MV self testing nga karbela wamran okra flat swab nga manggal tok sang oven na gudalay niya mo tama mong kamal okra nga se ko men ang bagay mo sa gal stop sir kung yung mag okay. Mo to niya tal right talis niya kan mes lang may galit tal Australia right mga to niya left. Ang ding lang yung nakatan nila negative.
Okay, were you nervous while you were waiting for results to come back? Did you do a lot of praying and hope that this comes back negative?
Yeah, especially for the last one since the common name will inform our mom.
Yeah, testing na ko ma'am lewang ra difference ring yun.
It was the swabs. It was thinner akwam. Then first nga bala kaman na okro. Ding dong yun.
Okay.
October na next.
Malungin ko sige yung akang kira masasing hidayos. Nga ako flight flight para school University of Hawaii at Hilo. Nag-graduate lagi gawa bachelor's sa mga geography, concentration nga kang environmental studies.
All right.
I've been planning to come home ever since March 19.
All right.
Call maasa nga taking the second repatriation flight in May. So, pagil namdug na almost 1 month daling mara quarantine. Kung experience nga, man lang I feel like
Sa ako talagang sa planning ma-Garbella, ako really impressed. I'm like, wow, ako really thinking and like they can go this far. And more like ano possible ang mga mamamay. Ako really impressed. Man lang nila kalamra quarantine ng mal kung nila kalamba sang baun magidim lang lang tikta ka mamamay nila kalamba sang. Testing experience na nga, I feel like kuha ba talaga balbaling na testing ang mga Garbelaw. Or maybe nga anya katangin ka malay na COVID test ang kuha makura man li madaf, nervous. One challenge ako tanda challenging nga sige then after yung mga test. Rada kan nga lang yung sige then wala other belaw am lekot talma bel mong lagi yarsme makpagi sa 2000 yar azam la message nga kalasik. Ang taas ang kawas ang makuraman lo bigik lang dila ka kimber sa adara hospital ako hindi ka manapong din sa tanda nga smear so igagita ko na may bibira challenges on sa ay sa social media alibay talman lang ito sa social media gina like agad flight throughout this quarantine period may gagita ever since ako to start to lumura yung quarantine and kuraman laklo debate mga ding tagalan madim lang nila and mga lang nila quarantine process mga mamdara ko na may medyo negative. Pero kasi sa kadang cellular at ang government blue relaw, president, vice president, sa mga ministers, especially other hospital, NEC, trigger ko lulul gira like nilgas mo para quarantine. Dili ka other with course man membering and helper ka deliver a package almost every day lang sa stairs ground of Mansula.
Okay.
Singe nga ram na difference ra surveillance ra quarantine ra kuam surveillance ra quarantine belaw. So tirigal adra HSP lego obviously mira every day. Yung daily checks ngaram na difference ra kuam belaw.
Okay, so sa lagi mga kuam ng betag 2000 kami lang ada asmaram. Temperature check, kami malaya temperature ka ma'am. So magidira kalwala di madangalaya condition na ma'am sa yung consistent temperature ka ma'am. Dira ka sa may ya adra kuam nirol. So din sa public health ra kuam nirol ra hotel nga kasal gimi sila form. But nirol nga email nga ganun they sent me an email and then I had to download this app. And then I have to check in every day. So, nga nangitagi ng apple. Makmangira, ano sa yung temperature nga, kaya din ako kanya nga temperature nga, tagi ng apple other kwam.
I see.
So, Sarah alert?
Ako na office lang sa sige lagi mo luspe ang check in every day.
I see.
Dili kami kasi nga symptoms sa kami, and then they report the symptoms and then you just check in through the app. And then it automatically, and then tomorrow if I was okay na mga quarantine na and naman ako kung check in na ako.
Okay.
Ako na room siya temperature kami. And then ako pelaw.
Pelaw ito, ang wasan mga 10 dori, mga 4 dori, kakap siya sige, di okay kasi kung tayo siya, kung nga symptoms na kami, kung nga mospe. Actually, naman na impressed na like counseling services ako naman niya kasi so mga rin nga sa selfie like kumpara mo impressed na lang sila kung feel free. So it's more than just COVID stuff but more like mental magiging.
Nice. Okay, retail mo radmil gutmok lagel supply sa los per adra kwam. Kamam tiyan man ne ungirar ngalagi usiran lobo. Yato ngalakan. Okay.
So ko ra di un maguliga sa question e tuliga ako ra di so otherwise ra difference sa the surveillance ra kwam surveillance belaw. Surveillance ra kwam tirigele kidam le contract ra HSP Health Services of the Pacific and conduct the medical screening daily medical screening. So tirigem lo physically tirigem nurse physically mora each room and na ke ada tobe to temperature check fill out the forms. Kita ko surveillance gide belaw adi tadi mora sele quarantine site tadi ngario edi hola each room so ndi al physically mora rooms ra tadi hola tire o gera tira igel update ya ul mangwal ko ram lo tendori tira ko ra dira tilo dra kale to ka mo tiram ge kare lal ka mang Tera first labong 7 dori 8 o'clock labong low rira den what the dio den wa el dia ka meki the mo tira mo bigis ko matukuk mas el moragal room sa matamalongo de ya lugar nga lo ka dir ka miway mo o 10 dori wa say either time at some lamiki.
Oh, I see. Okay.
ومدرسة مانكلا Cyrus سالي نرسل hotel repatriation flight نرقم المي. And I guess since we're the first ones, my experience is pretty much the same as the other three that spoke. In a way, I feel like we were kind of the test dummies, if I can say that. But I will say the experience, the differences, the food here was definitely better. I don't want to sound like I'm talking down on Guam, but like what was the restaurants? Dragon Tay, Umi, and My Malay. It really helped us get through our days with how big the servings were here. And then just the way they took it really seriously here. In Guam, it kind of seemed intimidating whenever we would open our door to get our food or drop off our laundry, because you'd see they had their National Guard patrolling all, right?
Yeah, military.
Yep. Yeah. So the army was there, always patrolling the hallways. But every now and then when we'd open, like if I got my food late, sometimes the hallways would be empty. So, yeah, in Guam. And then contrast when we came here, we don't see, they knock on our doors, but then by the time we go to pick up our food, the person who dropped off our food is gone. But if you just look down either way of the hallway, there's always someone sitting at both ends and in the stairwell. So we're completely monitored 24/7 when we got here. And we never really, over there we made contact with nurses or the military guys if we ordered something. Over here was zero contact with anyone except the doctors when they came to test us.
I see.
And then as far as the trash, over here I was surprised to see the red bags. We have like the hands waste bags over here, so that was an extra step, because in Guam it was just small plastic bags they gave us, and there was no scheduled time to pick up our trash. Over here it was scheduled every day.
I see. Okay, so you guys were satisfied, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think if, I know Ghaffar talked about maybe giving some recommendations. The only thing that happened in Guam that wasn't happening here, I don't know, I can't speak on why or not, was the laundry. I'm sure by the second flight they had people ask if they could do laundry. Because over here I saw, we'd open our balcony every now and then we'd see people at the cove, drying their clothes off in the windows. But I'm sure that would have to be, that's a lot of coordination to try and handle laundry as well as our waste and everything.
So any recommendations that you can share with us to improve the services?
That would be the only one, I think.
Okay.
To do laundry, but
recommendations or
I don't know. I feel like I would have wanted the nurse and may not mala temperature and then inform ako ma'am. So in a way, hindi lang ako lang pala ngayas para sa ma'am kasi consistent na temperature ko ma'am. And sige na ko pa din after mo ko rin iya mga sa kanila.
And when they tell us that we're negative, like kinilungira lang kayo. Because like nangawa nila other lenders in Mera ko they say, oh you're negative, makuran ng lumbak, loda. Makuran yun nga Rio and no you're good ma'am. Oh okay, thank you. Ako ram lumbak so like no okay, thank you.
When did they say you're negative?
Yeah, and then ako ko like smile or happy. Oh, ako ram negative ako. Stop it.
Tuling assume di kay
you got 5 more minutes. You want to do the recap? You know, there's
the recap pending anya one question lami.
Kabo.
Yang related and more quarantine operations mga kutuluul man ko ra mring asulir adro will involved sa Rio. And the concern niya was again like the transport the lulusbe legal repatriation flights amle bus government. I think specifically the school bus mga ako na this one Mamadingil o sa wangarang kukura decontamination process regel bas. Of course, naso isa ba school mong tos pere lang.
Yeah, well, it should. I think we should understand that these buses, there's nobody. If there was one person that is positive, then that's an issue that we have to look at. But there's no issue because no positive. So why, worry about our buses and the transportation that we used, for this operation? I think it's.
Tuli kalit ko di interviews mo dito. Marag sa gidra summer la schooling and school buses sa gidra tingel to nila sa kumdangalia national plan na blue belaw gila emergency Ministry of Education tasked with transportation.
I see.
Leto la ba so transport to an adding and fall under a role Ministry of Education. So emle summertime hindi mla school mang gigi del baste di altil belaw blue bel aquam to spe school buses. FSM mare ba iga rogul diga planning a school buses ling hindi free lang clock la government to spe el marulaw government ding maral nga niya decontamination process so sel transportation engel bus driver, engel tiga rokuil dal involved ratran singila quarantine, lara training, ra infection control, ma PPE, personal protective equipment. Hindi na kalukadam last model wasang marinya different talkaharosel daw ra PPE mang sugum kukuk bus driver nga ra PPE ka gloves o mask. Mang tamletrura gagidale training infection control nurse sa hospital Marvivir our clinical nurse amle conduct ay training sa mortirohoy trained on how to properly use ay claro domestic Ministry of Health provide ay PPE mortir sel transport ra sa transport ngania blotak kalteletal sel volngas rabas wasang makaral volngas rabas di na kalwara lang clear al silabas minimize sa the risk ra transmission at in the event ngania guys tira rogul na quarantine na kwantya rogul with patriated residents sa Selame eto mask matomas so that's an added layer of protection so mask mo mas rabas transportation ng mura quarantine site mo mare basta medel sometimes ang medel overnight at sumong mal also little bit timing early morning again flight some early morning so like 2-3 a.m. ang mura operation may gaya par el medel el mo next day ang armiya sa national hazmat team al gidra blue bela o rutin nga na EQPD with membership from fire division of fire and rescue of la police Tirigaya members sa national hazmat team rigid al direct pro di mo panya ngarigel bebira arado hospital et tirigaya mo da naigel proper giratin wipe down the decontaminated talbas rogi ra al cell al mail ngaya process al following decontaminate rabas so I got rogi el process al ukle el follow ar el kadamdengel wasing close to telela the mitigate say give the exposure malubin say give the potential for transmission ma risk in the planning process ay garugo yamile edrilo several dok makatyor tira per say give the bulgania operation so I hope that they are clear up per say the concern
I see okay
say give the tulig masum digamo del Konager or other concerns for the skate say the recap room the Godul Mr. Adrabulu update so far the Matangat Mermud and Medina Zero test and Lamot Mokl, including a Tirigel day one test at Tirigel recent travelers and then Taiwan last week Friday, early Saturday morning, so first the tested data negative, and then the direct kalgora hopeful is the license na 12 the vaccine na not promising, no say maybe towards the end of this year, in sa bedel mesa akura effective vaccine direct tara tapigil kita lang ang COVID-19 testing na sa bela mere Carmin Clarette talukura mo smoothie sa igidil wasing marama tetelala testing ra COVID testing ra tel virus itself mahuk testing ra serology mo sige sila antibody maigil masil ra those tel ministry ra health ma cell process ra testing, and then of course the tirikat tewal ex-quarantinees Shunrang ma Singe ma Cyrus ma Shandy lubuk na sabihin siya again experiences at tira quarantine na direct siya bebila ko ra constructive criticism gila na process lo sa mga nga improve for the next. So hindi sa gid tulig talk show gid of course hotline or MOH malmon mala ngidil gid adra blue related mara COVID-19 mong say 488-0555 maguk Thursday night tulig at look del mera talk show.
Okay, Madam Sular Rogo, have a good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, thank you so much for staying with us late. Okay, I can see Becky Hanser and Bulb ER is also watching. Ira Ace is watching. Jimmy King, and who else on here? I cannot read all of this. Franning Ilti, Gatsby, Estela Yutong, Jimmy King, Ngira Sibong, Lakius Malsol, Regsita Camine, okay, and here's another one, Vida Imeong, watching from Portland, Oregon. Good morning or good evening, wherever you're at. This is Alfonso Diaz, and thank you for staying with us and be updated on this COVID-19. Palau is still COVID-free, so we continue on enjoying our beautiful island and wait for you guys when you return home Sunday soon. Okay, this is Alfonso Diaz saying bye-bye and good night.